Hey friends, welcome to Mr. Mark's Classroom. My name is Mark Jones. I've got a great idea today for your physical learners. And before you think you don't have physical learners, let me tell you real quick, you're wrong. Because you've got kids who need to get up and move around. Matter of fact, I read a terrific book that how boys and girls learn differently. And one of the things that it talked about was how boys in an all-boys school, they got rid of all the chairs, raised the desk, the boys stood the whole time, and all their grades went up. It's because they're using those large muscle groups, those gross motor skills, and it helped them be able to be more focused. So I kind of tested it. I was working with some first and second graders, and I said to everybody in the room as we were working on this application sheet, I said, well, if you want to stand, you can stand. If you want to sit, you can sit. Every boy stood, every girl sat. I couldn't believe it, like, what? And it was true. And so I just want to say, you've got physical learners that need to get up and do. They've got to use their large motor skills, their big muscle groups. And so here's a couple of ideas for you to consider. So you may want to try to write with a swim noodle. So you're making the shape of the letter with the swim noodle. That would work perfectly. Now, you've seen it when people at children during the 4th of July, they're using sparklers and stuff to write letters, and that is a large muscle group experience. And of course it's fun because it's lit up on the end. Well, you could do that with flashlights, you could do that with but why not just use a swim noodle? And let me just say, if you'll stick in some sidewalk chalk into the end of this, it's like a giant pencil, but make them get all the way back on the very end of it in order to write. And that way you can have more fun with it, be a little bit more of a challenge. It would be the same if you actually put the paper under the table and they had to lay on their back and draw. You're having a different experience that uses larger muscle groups and gross motor skills. So the chalk is a great idea to do. Now, I think this is a great painting idea. Using a helmet, I just put a piece of clear tubing. You can see, I just got it at Lowe's, and some duct tape, stuck that on there, and then a paintbrush, and you stick that into the tube. And honestly, you don't have to have the tube. I mean, you can just tape the paintbrush on it. I was just wanting to be able to take it out and rinse it and be able to put it back in. But that's totally up to you. And so tape that on, then you put that on your head, and you have to put your hands on the helmet and paint with your head. So let me just say that if you'll put a drop cloth on the floor and the wall, like a vinyl tablecloth, you'll be just fine. Just tape the piece of paper to it and let them paint away. But remember, hands on the helmet. You can't hold the end of this. So that's a great one. Finally, another fun way to get those kids involved in your room is to go ice skating. And so I just have these simple footprints or shoe prints, and I laminated them, and the kids stand on it with their shoes, and then they have to slide on the carpet. But now we have a race, because we can race around the room. We can pick up the Bible book that is over there, bring it around, put it in order, hand the skates off to the next person. They stand on them. They skate around and get the Bible book, come around and put it on. Matter of fact, when we did it, we did the speed skating because it was during the Winter Olympics. So you had to put your hand behind your back and you had to swing your arm just like they do in the Olympics. Those are great physical learner type of games. Don't leave them out. They're probably becoming some of your discipline problems because you're doing everything sitting at a table listening to someone. Get up and move. They will love it. Hey, I've outlined for you in the Time Saver Notebook all kinds of learning skills and how these different learning approaches really impact your classroom. You can be the teacher that is really going to knock it out of the park when you introduce activities that match the learning style of your children. Lots of great ideas in here. You can get it at mrmarksclassroom.com/store. Hey friends, just a reminder that my new book, 31 Days to Finding Your Kids Ministry Mojo, is available. It's just a little bit of reading each day, answer a few questions, and find out some things that I reveal about myself, good and bad, and how you measure up, and you can get stronger in kids ministry. Take the challenge today.